Hey guys, you know, recently, over the past 24 to 48 hours, the official character design for Sonic when it comes to the Sonic movie was distributed, leaked, officially released, however you want to look at it. And the reaction throughout social media, throughout the internet, is understandable. Because when people look at this design, they're like, what the heck is this? What's going on? And there's no doubt that it's gotten a mixed reaction. Some look at it and, honestly, they don't like what they're seeing. Others look at it and say, yeah, that's all right. It's kind of what we would imagine. Especially when you take a look at the other images of Sonic and he's basically put into the traditional Sonic poses that we know him for. I think that's where some people are like, yeah, it's alright, could be better. Because it's almost like what they see is what I see. And what they see is a hybrid. It's a hybrid of both the design the movie studio wanted to go with, the more realistic design, and it's a hybrid of the game design. Now, could they have stayed true to the original design? Absolutely. They could have done that. But here's the thing. I think when they looked at Sonic and how they were going to design him, they looked at the fact that throughout a lot of the artistic artwork they probably took influence from, whether it's from the games, the Archie comics, or the IDW comics, they would notice that anytime someone would draw Sonic and he would kind of like do a squinting of his eyes, that basically the middle part would almost connect with the nose. So they pretty much figured, you know what? Why not just go there? Why not just go with that? And that's what they did. I'll put it this way. I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it. Because here's the truth. Every time characters get redesigned, they don't always get met with fondness right off the bat. I mean, let's take a look at Transformers when Michael Bay was doing them. Not everybody was on board when the designs of Optimus and Bumblebee and Ironhide and Jazz and Ratchet all came out. But after that, though, they kind of warmed up to it. They warmed up to it because they looked at it like, yeah, this is Transformers, but this is an alternative Transformers. Like, this is an alternate universe. That's how they looked at it. The same with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. When Paramount and Nickelodeon brought out those movies, not everybody was on board with the designs, but guess what? People actually were okay with them after the movie happened. True, they kind of redesigned or kind of fixed up the designs of the characters for Out of the Shadows, but still people were cool with it. People were fine with it in the end. It's like, okay, it's just basically an alternate version of the Ninja Turtles from another dimension, from another world. And I think that's how some people have to look at Sonic's design here with the movie. That this is an alternative Sonic. This is an alternate Sonic, maybe from another dimension. I mean, think about it this way, guys. Archie Comics once did a crossover in one of the super specials where Sonic not only crossed over with Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which is another story for another time, but he crossed over with the Sonic Underground characters. And the way they identified Prime Sonic from Underground Sonic is they gave the quills in the back of Sonic's head a little bit of an updrift, and they kept the classic Sonic style with him, the black eyeballs and all that. And sorry if my finger hit the mic there. But they kept the black eyeballs and all that. So they kept him in a way that identified him from being different from the Prime Sonic. So this honestly is nothing, nothing really new when it comes to Sonic's character. But the reason there's an uproar, within the internet is basically because of the fact that it seems in the eyes of many people, Hollywood just cannot do a video game movie correctly, or they can not adapt a game movie correctly. It's like they just cannot, get off on the right track when it comes to it. And I can see that. I can understand that. Because there's not much sometimes of a plot to go off of. I'm surprised that we're going to get Detective Pikachu, with Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu. And what's crazy is a lot of people are more excited for that than they are Sonic. But here's the thing. Will Detective Pikachu do well? That's one thing a lot of people have to ask themselves, and we'll just have to wait and see. But I think the only reason people are happy at seeing this is because they're seeing live action, almost very realistic interpretations of every Pokemon that they're fans of. And yes, some might say they look more like the legitimate Pokemon characters. However, here's what some people seem to forget. When we saw this trailer for the first time, or one of the first trailers, and we saw Pikachu, everybody complained about the fact that Pikachu had fur. And that some of the other Pokemon had fur. And here's the thing. When it comes to that, and now even Sonic, I think we kind of see exactly what the major complaint is. And that is, if you're going to do a movie, live action CGI hybrid, based on video game characters like Pikachu and Sonic, and, characters related to them, keep them true to who they are, and don't add fur. That's what people are mostly angry about. It's like, hey, we don't mind if you do the movies, just keep them as they are, don't add fur, don't change much. And here's the thing, I understand. I understand that. I understand, why people would say that, because it's like, to them, you're ruining a character. You're ruining a character by doing that. But again, just like the people said behind the Sonic movie, the reason studios do this is if you're going to incorporate these characters into a live action setting, you need to make them feel as realistic as you can. You gotta make them feel as realistic as they can. And we may not agree with some of the design changes, but if you were to incorporate someone like Sonic into the real world, obviously this is what he would look like. Now, let us not forget, this is not a finalized rendering. This is just, or a finalized design that we're going to get in the movie. This is just a rendering. This is going to probably be used during the trailers or the teaser trailer. This is just a rendering that's not totally finalized yet. So we cannot judge right off the bat whether or not it's going to look bad. I would say that we wait till the final project is done and we finally get maybe the final trailer before the movie debuts to get a more proper, better idea of what we're going to have in store. That's how I look at it. Because again, I think some people will agree that when you take a look at certain poses that they put Sonic in during this revelation of what his design is going to be, that, you can say that when you look at it, it does look like Sonic, but it's more of a hybrid of what the game design would look like and what a more realistic design would look like. It's a hybrid design, let's put it that way. So I say let's just give it a chance. These are not fully rendered, in other words, not completely finalized. So let's just give it a chance and see what happens. So With that said, guys, those are just my thoughts on Sonic's movie design, his character design. Let me know what you think down below. Comment if you like. And I will talk to y'all later. God bless. Take care. But guys, let's give it a chance and see what happens.